boy, is it time to get into the American League Championship Series. I, of course, am Ivan alongside Stefan, as always. And here we are yet again. I think we have done a hell of a job so far covering this postseason. We've come to you guys live. We've come to you with videos, shorts. I mean, you name it. We've been doing it all. And even you, shout out to you, Stefan, hopping onto the IG after the Dodgers defeated the Padres in Game 5 of that series. But it's time, man, on to the American League.
Somebody tell Lane Thomas that I respect his gangster. The left fielder for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Tariq Skubal, Deep Central, Hold My Beer, Yankees Guardians, ALCS. I can't wait.
Yo, let me tell you this before we get into breaking these teams down. Remember that first regular season game that you and I went together?
Guardian. They were playing the Guardian.
Who would have thought that game was a preview of what we're about to get into?
That's baseball's weird, bro.
By the way, that game did go extra innings. So who knows if we might see more of that in the American League Championship Series.
Let me put it to you this way, though. The Guardians are no joke. They are no joke by any means. This is not going to be an easy series, kids. Don't just assume that because you beat them 2 years ago, you're going to beat them now.
Right.
This team is good. And they've been good for a while now. Josh Naylor, this guy just hits big home runs off the Yankees every time he gets a chance to. Do you know Jose Ramirez has a .400 batting average at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees in his career?
God damn, I did not know that.
This guy lives to torture the Yankees. It's like a mini Manny and David Ortiz situation happening with this dude. Listen, the Guardians are no joke. Emmanuel Clase has been the best closer in baseball for the entirety of the year.
I'm also glad he didn't allow that home run that he gave up a couple games ago.
Moments too throughout the year. Runner goes, pitch is swung on, a high fly ball to right field. This one is gonna fly.
Because he could have easily allowed that to turn into something that
snowball.
Now every time he comes into the game, he might get himself into trouble because he's like, holy shit, they finally got me.
Yeah, and Kerry Carpenter, who pulled his hamstring, hit the home run off him. I believe if Kerry Carpenter is healthy for the Tigers, I think this is a different outcome. I think the Tigers win the series, but the Guardians are here. And look, Andres Jimenez, a pest. Bo Naylor behind the plate, solid big league catcher. That bullpen, this ain't going to be a fun series. I'm telling you right now, this ain't the Royals.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Guardians are here, and they're here to make a statement.
And what I also like about the Guardians, too, they play really good defense. I watched Steven Kwan in left field in that series against the Tigers, and I was like, boy, this guy has, I think, a magnet in his glove.
Lane Thomas at center field is no joke.
Didn't they acquire him at, like, the deadline or make a move?
From the Nationals, yes.
Right, yeah. That's been huge for them. Shout out to the Guardians for getting that one right.
Chris Antonetti that guy's one of the best GMs in baseball, by the way. Chris Antonetti and Mike Chernoff and that whole front office, they're incredible. The way they're able to take, their payroll is $103 million in total. The Yankees have a $200+ million payroll advantage over the Guardians, and the Guardians now find themselves here. Shout out to the Guardians.
In the same round, right? That's crazy.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
But that's the beauty of baseball, and I will continue to say that for as long as teams like the Guardians are doing what they're doing. Heck, even the Tigers. I mean, they're no longer in the postseason, but what a run for them. Definitely something to build off of. It was just unfortunate for them that the Guardians came out on top.
It's going to be fascinating to see how the Guardians work this starting rotation, though, because Matthew Boyd, Alex Cobb, like, how do we manipulate it to get it? Because you got to win 4 games. And this is where I think the Yankees have the advantage. Because I can go Heald. I can go Cole twice. I can go Rodon twice. So the Yankees have a lot more pitching options. But what the Guardians have at their disposal to pitch in big games is no joke. No.
And the one thing I want to see, too, I credit to the Guardians and their pitching staff to be able to just figure things out.
Yeah.
We talked about it in previous videos, Stefan, not having Shane Bieber. Another guy who I think they were out for quite some time is Tristan McKenzie, if I'm not mistaken.
Tristan McKenzie pitched to a 5 ERA. Tristan McKenzie's not even with the team. He's
Right.
down in,
So I
you know
say
what I mean?
that because offensively, the Tigers, you weren't really going to get much out of them offensively because we all saw with our own eyes. It was that pitching staff that got them that far, right?
Literally, yeah.
Now, here's the thing. The Guardians can pitch, as I mentioned, but you're going up against a team that could score some runs. Now, I know there were some guys who didn't really show up for the Yankees in that series against the Royals, Aaron Judge being the most obvious one, but I think it's only a matter of time. And one thing that you pointed out, Stefan, is as that series continued, when it got to game 3, when it got to game 4, Aaron Judge looked like he was starting to barrel up the balls that he made contact with. So if those start to connect how they did during the regular season, in addition to what Stan has been doing and the rest of these guys, the Guardians might be in trouble.
And here's the thing. I think Soto's going to get on the heater as well. But let me just bring it back to the Guardians for a second because I do want to make this point. The Guardians lineup, although it might not be what we're used to, that Guardians lineup is no joke. J-Ram, Josh Naylor, Kyle Manzardo, their rookie
good
outfielder.
Contact hitters in Quan and Thomas.
Quan and Thomas, they're no joke. They're gonna steal bases. No, this ain't gonna be easy shit. I'm telling you right now. If you think the Yankees sweep this series or win it in a convincing 5, I'm telling you right now, you in for a rude away. This Cleveland team's good. The Yankees are gonna need a 4th starter. They're gonna need a 4th starter because these games are stacked up back to back. Now, we're going to the game Monday night. There's a game Tuesday, off day Wednesday. Games 3, 4, and 5 are back-to-back. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Right.
You can't manipulate the bullpen the way you once did because you got a game the next day, the next night, and the next night after that. That's why if I'm the Yankees, the way I'm stacking my rotation is this. We're going Clark Schmidt game 1. We're going Cole game 2. We're going Rodon game 3. I'm going Luis Gil game 4, and I'm bringing back
Marcus Stroman to be put into the bullpen.
Marcus Stroman's gonna have to pitch out of the bullpen. Yup, and I think I'm gonna bring Garrett Cole back for a game 5 on relative. I don't know if it's short rest. That would be 5 days, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I think he'll be back for a game 5 on that Saturday.
Right. Well, the good thing is a guy like Garrett Cole, I don't think there really has to be much convincing if he's gonna
show up. He's
gonna
take the ball.
Like
he's gonna take the ball. Garrett's gonna take the ball and be Garrett Cole.
By the way, shout out to Garrett Cole for defending Anthony Volpe that other night, making sure shit didn't get out of hand because I just think it was so unnecessary. He kind of had his hands in a way where it looked like he was just trying to do something. I don't want to say that he was.
He was trying to knock the ball out of Volpe's glove.
What do you expect if a guy decides to go feet first, right? I've always preferred to slide like that.
But it was a late slide, though. It was a late slide. If you slid earlier, we don't have a problem. But if you notice, he slid really late.
Right.
You're going to slide late and then you're going to try and knock the ball out? Nah, bro, you get that bowl to the neck real quick.
That was a funny moment for sure.
Good for the young boys.
The only thing I would say in the case of Anthony Volpe was I think he did a little too much with the hands. I don't think you had to pat him on the back. I don't think you had to do the whole like shoot fly, get out of here type thing.
No, yes, you do.
Yeah,
better than you. Get off the field, bro. We got a game to go get.
Because he was out no matter what, whether he liked how it went down or not. He was out.
But you ain't gonna. I'm not gonna let you sit here and talk shit when we got you up on the scoreboard. Sit your ass on the bench, nigga. Let's go. I ain't got time for you.
Right.
What you mean?
I hear you.
I took it as I'm big brothering you right now. Get the hell off my field. We 9 outs away from going to the next round. You playing games. But the one thing I'll say, Jazz, just stay over there. Like, don't be coming over here trying to escalate nothing. Because if you get knocked out, now we got to fight. But getting back to the series, I'm going to tell you something right now. I got 2 X Factors on each side. I wonder if you got X Factors yourself. But I do. I got 2 on each side. I think if Anthony Volpe has a big series, I think the Yankees got this in the bag. Because Volpe was hitting the ball with some elite contact. He was hitting to some tough luck. He was hitting rockets all over the field, and he was playing a hell of a shortstop. That kid don't seem phased by the moment. If you tell me that there's a moment on Monday night where Volpe goes bridge and the place erupts, I would believe you, because the kid just seems to have that. Okay,
Right.
I'm here now. You know what I mean? I'm here. I grew up a Yankee fan. Shortstop, Jeter was my idol. What would Derek do? You know what I'm saying? So now I just got him. And my X factor on the pitching side, you might leave the screen once you hear who I'm about to say. Clay Holmes is my X factor out of the Yankee bullpen.
Okay.
Because Clay Holmes has been nails in this postseason so far.
He's been good.
He's just, any way you put him, he just gets the outs.
That is kind of what he prefers too, though, right? And hopefully moving forward, the Yankees kind of keep him in that position where he's not coming out to close ball games. But if you want to bring him out for the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, he might just so happen get the job done.
As for the Guardians, I like Gaddis out of their bullpen. That guy throws 1 billion miles an hour. We already talked about Clase. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're not paying attention, that guy Stephen Kwan is going to put on an exhibition on how to annoy pitchers.
For me, the two that I would like to point out, so you mentioned Clay Holmes. I'm not going to mention anyone in particular on either side. I'm going to kind of like generalize it, especially considering the fact that as you get late and deeper in these playoffs, how you construct your roster starts to show. Like you start to, sometimes you'll be exposed, right, in a bad way. Or sometimes the way you have decided to put a playoff roster together just shows up in a way where it benefits you and you just look like a genius, right?
Got you.
So for me, I'm going with the Yankee bullpen. Can the Yankee bullpen continue to be as good as they have been? Now, I don't mean not allow runs, right? If they allow 1, 2, big deal. If anybody really expects them to not allow any runs moving forward in this postseason,
that's not being realistic.
You might as well go play a video game or something, because they're going to get caught at some point. But can they still perform at an elite level?
Yeah.
That's on the Yankee side. Now, for the Guardians, I'm looking at everyone outside of other than Jose Ramirez. I think Jose Ramirez is an obvious choice, so I didn't really want to go with that. But the Cleveland lineup, can they put up runs with a Yankee lineup? Like you said, if Judge is hitting, it's going to be a problem. And Stanton looks like he's not going to slow down.
It's going to be
tough. You got Jazz, who's enjoying every single moment of this.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Jazz Chisholm's catching everything at third base. That motherfucker is a human
vacuum.
Yeah,
man, he looks good. He looks good. You know, I'm not even mad that he takes a couple of steps backwards, but he's doing that so that he's secure.
On
that
balance.
I have the ball. And he has the arm strength to get these guys out.
He got a rocket for an arm.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to point something out. If Aaron Boone puts on the masterclass he put on in the first round, Yankees win this rather easily, because if this is what I call attacking the game. Are you going to let the game attack you, or are you going to attack it? Right? Where I'm going to be honest, Stephen the Guardians manager, Stephen Volk, former catcher.
Former catcher, yes, I remember.
Has a Rolodex on, this is how I want to get through a game. This is how I want to get through a game. But it feels like when you watch the Guardians, he kind of has a set matchup. He kind of does things according to a specific plan. Where I want to see if Booney can continue to go with, you know what? Gut says he looks good, but I'm going to pull him here, because I think if we get this guy in here against this part of the lineup, he's going to pitch well. You have to attack it. Don't wait for it to attack you. You attack it. The managers, to me, are the crucial part of this, because if Stephen Volk outmanages Aaron Boone, you give the Guardians a shot. So you have to manage with the same level of aggression. Also, you have more pieces. The Guardians are very limited. They don't really have a game one starter. The rotation is not deep. They're going bullpen by committee. They got a bunch of guys that come out and throw $1 billion. You know who's closing the game, right? But how are we putting runs up on the board? That's the other thing. Right. If the Yankees pitching is as good as it's been, and I'm not saying they can't get hit for a few hits or runs, but if you could keep the game close and let your offense do what it's known to do, you're going to win a lot of games. Right. And the reason why the Guardians have an approach of, we ain't going to hit the ball to the ballpark, but we're going to small ball you to death. Base hits. Run, move the runner over. Take the extra base. The Yankees got to be sharper defensively too, because the Guardians are sharp. Guardians ain't leaving outs on the field.
Speaking
So-
of defense, the one thing that has surprised me in these playoffs so far, especially now that we're on the Yankees and the Guardians, Anthony Volpe, man. Some of these plays, you just don't really see him making
Oh my
that.
God,
Especially
yeah.
when you look at what he did in the regular season, but he made a big play. I know you know which one I'm talking about.
The
Up
one
the
that
middle
Bob
where he-
Costas said, "Oh, base hit up the middle" when it's in Volpe's glove.
Exactly, that one.
Jesus
However, he
Christ.
has made some questionable plays where I think Anthony Volpe on a typical day makes that play 9 out of 10 times.
So the play that you're referring to that sticks in my mind is the game we went to when he goes to the backhand and tries to hit Glaber as a moving target. Where if I'm Volpe, just take the out at first base, bro. I know there's a guy at second, but take the out at first because you avoid the bigger rally. The thing I like about Volpe, though, is we say this about him, and he sometimes you worry, is it going too fast? And then he'll turn around and make a play like he made the other night, and you're like, he's a supreme athlete. This kid's going to win another Gold Glove. And mind you, he is 22 years old. Let's just keep that in perspective. You were talking about a very, very young man who's not. We haven't done this a while, and we haven't done this before. It's brand new.
Yeah.
So Volpe is just gonna be like, "Hey man, I need you to settle down, young fella. You know what I mean? You're gonna want to make all plays, but settle down." John Birdie at first base. Oh my God, how big has he been? The double play he turned the other night, the play that he turned in game 2, the rocket down the line where he caught it. I'm like, all right, you've been good. Series predictions. I got the Yankees in 5. Who do you have?
I got Yankees in 6. And the reason why I say
Ooh.
Yankees in 6, the last time the Cleveland Guardians and the Yankees met in the playoffs, I believe, was back in 2022.
I
for
was
the
at
American,
game 5. I
for
was
the
at game 5.
ALDS, right?
Yeah, I was at
So,
game 5.
I'm gonna sit here and say that I think the Guardians make things interesting. Not interesting enough for it to go to a game 7, but certainly going to a game 6 for sure.
All right, so hey, we got the Yankees, and if you watch that NO video, you know where we're going.
Let us know down below in the comment section. Who do you have? Are you rocking with the Guardians? Are you rocking with the Yankees? And feel free to tell us why. You know, make sure you check out the NLCS video as Stefan and I did mention.
And that, my friends, is how we wrap.